Who are you?
Young black motherfucker named Lil Wayne.
I'm not saying I didn't do nothing wrong, but now I'm doing it right. That's all we saying, huh? Cash Money, Baby saying one of his new songs, fuck how we used to be, now we how we need to be.
I thought everything was cool, understood, but they had a cake baked for me, I guess that's what they think. 4 o'clock in the morning, they sent my manager an email saying that I'm terminated, that I was a security threat.
It was over with. Like, I thought they closed the curtains on me. Boosie held me down, man, walked me all the way to the door, T.I., you know what I mean? Like, my man Mano, you know what I'm saying? Birdman, you know what I mean?
Bill Wayne straight up sued Birdman for a jaw-dropping $51 million and even called himself a prisoner. Then, right in the middle of all that chaos, his tour bus got shot up. The drama didn't stop there. Juvenile, fresh off a quadruple platinum streak, walked away from Cash Money, took them to court, and claimed the contracts were so bad he'd never see a dime of royalties. After years of messy business, missed payments, broken deals, and major trust issues, artists from every corner of hip-hop finally started spilling the truth about why they really can't stand Birdman.
Raised me, bro. You know what I'm saying?
I love that.
That's like a father figure to me. You know what I'm saying? Him and Slim. You know what I mean? I got the utmost love for him, the utmost, respect for him.
And when it comes to heartbreaks in rap history, Lil Wayne and Birdman's fallout still stings the most. Fans everywhere were stunned, watching a bond that once looked unbreakable crumble right in front of them. To really get it, you gotta rewind to the beginning. Wayne met Birdman back when he was just a kid in the streets of New Orleans, a hungry young rapper with a dream. Birdman stepped in like a father figure, took him under his wing, and signed him to Cash Money Records when Wayne was barely 10 years old. And Wayne himself has made it clear, Birdman's name carried serious weight in New Orleans long before the fame and hits. This man wasn't just another record exec, he was already a legend in the streets. Just listen to how Wayne once described his own mom's reaction when she found out he was signing with Birdman. It says everything. Before the fame, before the platinum hits, Birdman's name already echoed through the New Orleans streets. Wayne's real pops had dipped, and his stepdad was taken from him way too soon, leaving a hole in his life. That's when Birdman stepped in, filling that father role Wayne never had. Their bond got so tight that photos of them kissing on the lips started spreading everywhere, something Birdman brushed off as a father and son gesture. That's how strong their connection was. It wasn't business, it was family. But come 2014, that unbreakable bond turned into straight chaos. Years of loyalty went up in flames. Wayne claimed that Birdman was holding his album The Carter V hostage, blocking the release, cutting off his advance money, and trapping him under a deal that felt more like a cage than a contract. Wayne felt betrayed by the man who once called him son, and he was ready to fight back. No holding back this time. Let's not forget, Wayne wasn't just an artist, he was a boss too. Back in 2005, he launched Young Money Entertainment as a part of the Cash Money empire, signing future icons like Drake and Nicki Minaj. But that partnership came with strings. Cash Money held 51% of Young Money, while Wayne had 49%. It looked solid on paper, but behind the scenes, that imbalance started the very problems that would tear everything apart. Then, on December 4th, 2014, Wayne hit Twitter and sent shockwaves through the whole industry. He didn't hold back. He said he wanted off the label completely, but it wasn't something he could just walk away from. He dropped the now infamous line, "I'm a prisoner, and so is my creativity." That tweet didn't just trend, it rocked hip-hop to its core. Fans couldn't believe that the same man who made Cash Money what it was now crying out for freedom. Even Wayne's manager, Cortez Bryant, jumped in on Instagram, standing firm beside him. He reminded everyone that Wayne had carried Cash Money on his back for over a decade. Hit after hit, year after year. Things spiraled fast after that. By January 2015, Wayne had enough. He filed a $51 million lawsuit against Cash Money Records, claiming they owed him an $8 million advance for Thaw Carter V. The betrayal, the lawsuits, the tension, it was all out in the open now, and the whole hip-hop world couldn't stop watching. Back in 1998, Juvenile was running the game. His album went quadruple platinum, and hits like Ha and Back That Ass Up are still blasting at cookouts and parties today. His next albums kept the streak alive. The G Code went double platinum, Project English hit platinum, and Juve the Great also went platinum with Slow Motion, featuring Soulja Slim climbing straight to the #1 spot on the Billboard. Hot 100. That run was pure domination. But here's the real story about how Juvenile even got linked up with Cash Money in the first place. After splitting from Warlock Records over creative differences, Juvie was hungry to grow beyond just bounce music. Then fate stepped in. He ran into Birdman at a bus stop in New Orleans. Birdman heard him freestyle right there on the spot and was blown away. He introduced Juvie to legendary producer Mannie Fresh, and just like that, the connection was made. Now, what really sealed the deal wasn't just talent, it was tension in the city. See, Cash Money had an ongoing rivalry with Master P's No Limit Records, and that drama, especially with No Limit artist Mystical, pushed Juvenile closer toward Birdman's camp. It was more than just music. It was about choosing a side in one of New Orleans' biggest rap rivalries. But by the early 2000s, around 2001 or 2002, things went south. Juvenile walked away from Cash Money over serious money issues. He said the label wasn't paying him what he was owed, and when his lawyer looked deeper, it got ugly. Contracts were so messy that Juvie realized he wouldn't be seeing any royalty checks for years. According to him, Cash Money was out here using a criminal lawyer to handle music deals, and that just wasn't cutting it. The business was bad, and Juvie wasn't sticking around for it. The contracts were a total mess. Paperwork was sloppy, filings were botched, and artists kept getting crushed in legal battles. In interviews, Juvenile laid it out plain. He said it wasn't about personal beef or hatred. Beef wasn't no personal, "I don't like this guy," he explained. It was strictly business mishandling. Still, he didn't hold back when it came to calling out Birdman and Slim, accusing them of pocketing the real money while he, Turk, and BG got cheated out of their rightful earnings. By 2003, Juvenile had enough and took it to court. He sued Cash Money Records for unpaid royalties, reportedly seeking $4 million, but the case ended up settling for $11 million. According to reports, Juvie made it clear. He wanted to hit them where it hurt, right in the pockets. He publicly said he'd punish the label financially and even accused Birdman of trying to smear his name in the streets. But Birdman wasn't staying quiet either. He clapped back hard in interviews, calling Juvenile a failure, saying his solo career flopped, and even claiming Juvie had left him threatening voicemails. What started as a money dispute turned personal fast, and it showed how deep the cracks inside Cash Money really ran. Then there's BG, another certified legend straight out of New Orleans, one of the original Hot Boys. BG got signed to Cash Money back in 1992 when he was just 12 years old, alongside an 11-year-old Lil Wayne. These two grew up in the game, side by side, turning street dreams into platinum records. BG gave the world Bling Bling, a track so iconic it literally added a new word to the dictionary. That song defined the late 90s era and helped push Cash Money into the spotlight. His 1999 album, Chopper City in the Ghetto, was another smash, and his impact helped Cash Money lock down that massive $30 million distribution deal with Universal Records in 1998. But just like the rest of the crew, BG eventually dipped out in the early 2000s over, you guessed it, money problems. He said he got nothing for his work on nearly 80 records. Imagine that. One of the label's foundation artists walking away empty-handed after helping build the empire from the ground up. BG made it clear he never got a single royalty check for his albums released before 1998. By 2001, BG, Juvenile, and Turk had all walked out on Cash Money Records, fed up with the shady accounting and unpaid royalties. They eventually sued the label, later settling the dispute and briefly returning in 2003, but the damage was already done. The trust was gone, and that resentment stuck for years. Then came BG's darkest chapter. In 2009, he got hit with gun charges, and by 2012, he was sentenced to 14 years in federal prison. He ended up serving 11 years, finally walking free on September 5, 2023. But even behind bars, that cash money tension never went away. BG said he felt completely unsupported by the label during his time locked up, which only made those old money issues sting even worse. Still, when he came home, something unexpected happened. Birdman was right there waiting for him. He greeted BG with open arms, handed him a cash money chain, and even gifted him $1 million. It was a wild moment, considering all the bad blood from the past. But here's the twist. BG had actually dropped a diss track against Cash Money while he was still dealing with those raw emotions behind the scenes. Then in January 2024, BG popped up on Finesse 2x track I Fied, where he even threw a jab at Lil Wayne for not sending him money while he was locked up. Fans were convinced this was about to reignite the whole Cash Money beef, but what happened next surprised everyone. BG opened up about it later, explaining that when he's in his feelings, he just lets it all spill in the booth. No filter, just emotion. He said it's not about hate, it's about venting from the heart. And Birdman? He actually understood it. Their bond goes way deeper than rap or business. BG even revealed that his mama's house used to be a stash spot back in the 80s. That's how far back they go. Real street history, real roots, and a connection that time and tension still couldn't break. When it comes to speaking up about the Cash Money drama, nobody's been louder or more consistent than Hot Boy Turk. This man's been airing it out for years, going back and forth with Birdman and even his own former Hot Boys crew. And unlike BG, Turk's situation with Cash Money is still messy, nowhere near settled. Turk got discovered by Birdman at just 13 years old, jumping into the Cash Money camp alongside Lil Wayne, Juvenile, and BG. Together, they formed the Hot Boys, one of the most legendary rap groups out of New Orleans. Their debut album, Get It How You Live, dropped in 1997, selling around 400,000 copies, and by 1999, guerrilla warfare had exploded, topping the Billboard R&B hip-hop chart and climbing to number 5 on the Billboard 200. The crew was unstoppable. But by 2003, the money drama came crashing down once again. Turk left Cash Money right alongside Juvenile and BG, saying he got zero payment for his work on nearly 80 records. That's decades of hustle with nothing to show for it, at least not financially. Then came another twist in Turk's story. In 2004, he got caught up in a drug raid that turned into a SWAT shootout, leading to a 14-year sentence. He ended up serving almost 9 years before finally getting released in 2012. But here's what really stung. When Turk came home, Birdman didn't even reach out. No call, no visit, no welcome home chain, nothing. Meanwhile, when BG got out, Birdman showed up with love, a Cash Money chain, and even $1 million. That silence toward Turk? It said everything. By 2015, Turk decided to take it to court, filing a lawsuit against Cash Money Records for over $1 million in damages. He demanded rights to his music, claiming the contracts were void because of terrible accounting and mishandled business. The bond between Turk and Birdman had completely snapped, and that quiet bitterness turned into a very public fight for what he felt he was owed. That lawsuit eventually got settled out of court for around $1.3 million, which Turk later described as more like severance pay, not real justice. The deal didn't even include publishing rights, meaning Turk still didn't fully own his music. In 2016, he briefly re-signed with Cash Money, trying to rebuild the bridge, but nothing actually came from it. The relationship stayed rocky. The real drama, though, came years later when everyone started talking about a Hot Boys reunion. It was supposed to go down as part of the 2025 30th anniversary tour, bringing back the legendary crew that defined an era. But things went sideways fast. When Turk was asked to take a pay cut, he straight up refused, and that's when the situation got wild. The label claimed Turk was left out over a security threat, but Turk wasn't having it. He called that whole story cap, saying it was just an excuse to keep him out. Then came the Cash Money versus No Limit Versus battle in October 2025, and Birdman took things to another level. Right there on stage, in front of the crowd, he called Turk a little, saying, "We roll with you when we want to." Turk wasn't even invited to the event. He was at home hosting his own watch party, watching it all unfold live like everyone else. That moment made it crystal clear. The wounds between Turk and Cash Money still hadn't healed. Turk didn't hold back. He even went in on BG, clowning his outfit from the Versus battle and calling him anti-BG, like the tension wasn't already bad enough. The situation between Turk and the rest of the Cash Money family has gotten flat-out wild. At one point, Turk filed a $300,000 lawsuit against the tour promoters, and they fired back with a massive $12 million countersuit accusing him of sabotaging the tour. That beef? It's nowhere near being over. And that's just the beginning of this wild Cash Money saga. The lawsuits, the betrayals, the broken brotherhood, it all set the stage for even crazier twists that nobody saw coming. From backroom deals to shocking reunions and explosive interviews, this story is far from over. The drama only gets deeper. And the truth? It's about to hit way harder. This was just part 1 of the Cash Money story. Wait till you see what goes down next. Part 2 is coming soon. And trust, you don't want to miss it.